the 10 best UFC fighter nicknames. A fighter's nickname can make or break their entire career. In today's video, I'm going to give you the top 10 nicknames in the UFC right now. These are current fighters. I'm not doing all time. This is my area of expertise. There will be no bias involved. How good the fighter is at fighting means absolutely nothing when we're talking about the best nicknames. Every great nickname falls into one of these three qualities. First, I don't even know your name. One of those nicknames that's just the person's name. You'll see UFC legends that have this status. Once they leave the UFC, they still go by their UFC nickname. An example of this, the Korean Zombie. Tell me what the Korean Zombie's actual name is. You don't know. That's the point. The nickname was so great that we didn't even need to know his real name. It's the Korean Zombie. You call him that, everybody knows it's that. Another example, Rampage Jackson. Tell me Rampage Jackson's first name. You can't. Nobody in today's day and age, years after Rampage Jackson has retired, calls him by his first name. It doesn't happen. It's Rampage. 2, the nickname fits you perfectly. One of those nicknames where you see the guy and then you hear the nickname, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Example of this, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Tell me there's a more fitting nickname in UFC history than Mighty Mouse for the flyweight champion, the best flyweight to ever be in the UFC. Another example of this, the notorious Conor McGregor. Notorious. That's who Conor McGregor is. You hear that word, you think Conor. Simple as that. Third, the type of nickname that makes you feel something. Whether it's a nickname that feels wrong to say, or it makes the fighter a little scary, or it's just fun to say, or it even makes you a little bit uncomfortable. This will be a nickname like Wanderlei Silva's, the Axe Murderer. Yeah, man, we'll call you the Axe Murderer if that's what you want. I'm a little uncomfortable knowing that this guy wants to be called in public an Axe Murderer. Another example of this, Luis Pena, Violent Bob Ross. Yeah, whatever that is, I like it. A Violent Bob Ross. How could you not like that nickname? Every great UFC nickname falls into one of those three qualities. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 best nicknames in the UFC as of right now. Before I give you the honorable mentions, you can't make a UFC nickname video without bringing up the worst UFC nickname of all time. I'm gonna do it because it bothers me. Anthony Lionheart Smith. You're no Lionheart! Whoever gave that to Anthony Smith, whether it was himself or somebody else, you should be ashamed. I've never seen a worse nickname for a fighter that wants to curl up in the ball and quit. He had like 25 losses. Every single one of those, he's curled up on the ground, giving up. No Lionheart. Now, some honorable mentions, some nicknames that just missed this top 10 list. First, this fighter got removed from the UFC in October, so he couldn't make the list. Otherwise, he's top 10. Quang Bang Lee. Tell me Quang Bang Lee isn't a fire nickname. Quang Bang, are you kidding? Throughout this video, I want you to imagine Bruce Buffer saying these names. Quang Bang Lee. It's perfect. It's beautiful, to be honest. And Dana White, if it was my company, I'm keeping Quang Bang Lee in the UFC simply because of his name. If you want to be a superstar, you need a great nickname. Honorable mention number 2, Danny Left-Handed God Barlow. Listen, he was awful. He just got cut from the UFC, just like Quang Bang Lee. But there was nothing cooler than watching Danny Barlow get a knockout with his left hand, knowing his nickname was Danny Left-Handed God Barlow. It doesn't get better than that. That's how superstars are made. Last but not least, the best women's UFC fighter nickname, Thug Rose. Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose, for some reason, that just works. I don't know if that's just my bias. If you look at her, it kind of just makes sense. Thug Rose. There goes Thug Rose. Great nickname, but it couldn't crack the top 10. Now, the 10th best nickname in the UFC as of today goes to Charles Radke, aka Chuck Buffalo. Yeah, whatever that means, I'm about it. This is the one nickname on this list. I don't even know which quality it falls into. I guess it's fun to say. I really don't know. How do you get Chuck Buffalo? Charles Radke, Chuck Buffalo. Whatever it is, it worked. Say what you want about Charles Radke, like him or not. You can't hate on somebody's nickname being Chuck Buffalo. It makes absolutely no sense, and that's why it's perfect. Number 9. This is one of those nicknames that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. I don't even know if I should be saying it out loud type of thing. Andre Touchy Feely. Now listen, I know it's crazy. Andre Touchy Feely? Let's just sit back for a minute and really think about it. That's a fire nickname. Now, why would a person want to be known in public as touchy-feely? I don't know. I don't ask those questions, okay? I'm just here talking nicknames. And listening to Bruce Buffer read that nickname out loud, something about it, man, it just works. Coming in at number 8. This is a fighter who's not good, but his nickname is great. Just a fun one to say. Tai Tuivasa. Bam Bam. Just a good nickname. Bam Bam. Hey, Bam Bam. Where's Bam Bam at? No matter how good you are in the UFC, that nickname is going to be remembered. Tai Tuivasa, Bam Bam. Everybody loves Bam Bam. Whether you think he's good at fighting or not, that's not the issue here. We're talking nicknames. Bam Bam. Great name. It comes in at number 8 on the list. So coming in at number 7, we have the first nickname that kind of is just that guy's name. You don't need to know his first and last name. Wonder Boy. That's it. That's his name. Wonder Boy. Stephen Thompson. Nobody's saying Stephen Thompson. And I feel like some people don't realize how iconic the Wonder Boy nickname really is. It could have been higher on this list, but it falls just outside the top 5, coming in at number 7, Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson. Listen to every fighter talk. They don't call him Steven. They don't call him Mr. Thompson. They call him Wonder Boy. Simple as that. One of those nicknames that's going to stick with him long beyond the UFC. When he retires, he's going to be Wonder Boy forever. Number 6, just outside the top 5 UFC nicknames. This nickname fits this fighter perfectly. If you took this nickname and then built a human being based off what you think it would look like, this is what we get with Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. Just a giant built freak of nature. That's RoboCop. You say what you want about him as a fighter, whether you like him or not. If he beat your fighter, if he lost you a bet, that's RoboCop. Just look at him. If the word RoboCop was turned into a human being and was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, this is what it would look like. Argue with a wall. That is a RoboCop. Coming in at number 5, we are down to the top 5 UFC nicknames in today's era. This is one of those nicknames that you're a little bit uncomfortable saying it out loud. I don't know if every person can walk up to this fighter and call him by his nickname and that just be okay. I really don't know. We have none other than the people's champ, Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Yeah, whatever the Black Beast is, that's Derek Lewis. You think of those words, you're thinking of the dude from Texas who takes his shorts off after he wins a fight and starts waving them around his head like a maniac. That's the Black Beast. Derek Lewis encompasses everything those 3 words mean. The Black Beast. Every part about Derek, it just makes sense. It's the perfect nickname. No other nickname could be given to a guy like Derek Lewis. I don't know if you could just walk up to him. It makes me a little uncomfortable. Like, I would never go up to Derek Lewis and be like, yo, what's going on, Black Beast? I'm not doing that. I'm just not. Number 4. I was going back and forth on number 4 and number 3, flipping. I couldn't decide which one goes where. But at number 4, we have Robert the Reaper Whittaker. Now, hear me out for a second. The Reaper's a great nickname, okay? It fits him that he's that kind of guy, but that's not even why he's in the top 5. He's got another nickname that I personally think is better. Bobby Knuckles? Imagine just being called Bobby Knuckles. That's crazy. Unfortunately for Robert Whittaker, the Bobby Knuckles is kind of like a secondary nickname, but as the best nicknameologist on the MMA side of content creation, I'm going to call it how I see it. Bobby Knuckles, that's a top 5 UFC nickname as of right now. And it's his secondary nickname. Shout out to Robert Whittaker. Bobby Knuckles is crazy. Tell me that doesn't fit Robert Whittaker perfectly. Now, on to our top 3 UFC nicknames in today's era. This is another nickname that it's just this guy's name. You have never heard anybody just say his first name and his last name. I guarantee it. Michael Page. Do you even know who that is if I just say Michael Page? It's Michael Venom Page. Venom's not his real middle name. I'm not sure I even knew that. MVP, Michael Venom Page. Nobody is calling him Michael Page, ever. That's never happened. Michael Venom Page, it works so well that I didn't even know if his nickname was Venom or if it was MVP. I'm just now finding out it's Venom. Once I realized that was the case, top 3. Venom is his name. He is Michael Venom Page. Nobody is saying Michael Page at all, ever. And that's why he's earned a top 3 spot in the UFC nickname rankings. Now we are on to our last 2 nicknames, the 2 best UFC nicknames in today's era. This one fits this fighter so perfectly. Even if his nickname wasn't this, everybody would still call him it. I've sat there while watching his fights and said his nickname. I'm like, man, this guy is a blank. And that's his nickname. Without even thinking that that's his nickname, I say it. Everybody does. Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. Look, say what you want about Merab. You don't have to like his fighting style. Tell me he's not a machine. I mean, that's just what he is. Win, lose, draw, he's a machine. He has unlimited cardio, and he pushes the pace for the whole fight, no matter what. Every time you watch a Merab fight, you're like, man, this dude is a machine. That's his nickname. It's perfect. No UFC nickname in the history of ever has been better for a fighter than Merab the Machine Dvalishvili. Now, last but not least, the best nickname in the UFC right now, today. I know nicknames better than anybody. I guarantee you, nobody's going to disagree with this. Charles do Blanc! Charles do Blanc! Fatu Brazil! Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Does it get any better? Just listen to the Brazilian announcers when they're screaming it. It's perfect. That nickname is why nicknames exist. The announcers going crazy. Charles do Blanc! It's perfect. Charles do Bronx Oliveira, the best nickname in UFC history. Comment down below if you disagree. You're wrong.